this is the worst RLcraft, dare I say, one of the worst videos on the internet, because it was written by AI. First off, look at this description here. Welcome to my latest blah 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 blah. I plugged this, copy and pasted it into an AI chat detector. 100% probability AI generated. Yeah, this man, AI generated at least the description of his video. And the video's not much better. It's awful. It literally is written by an AI. The whole thing. This is written by an AI. The fact that it has 100% probability AI generated. And just read this. And the worst part is he says, I am a longtime RLcraft player with plenty of tips and tricks to share with you. It should also support RLcraft 2.9. This is awful. I've only watched a minute of this, but we're gonna go through this anyway, because it's just that bad. I have never seen a worse video than this. I'm not even kidding. This entire thing was written by AI. I don't know how this man has 15,000 views on it. This man has a lot of subscribers. 123,000. And this video sucks. It is awful. Okay, let's get into it.
Hey guys, Dean here. Today we'll be talking about RLcraft, and more specifically, how to become overpowered by getting the most advanced and powerful items in the game. We know that RLcraft can be a tough and challenging mod pack, but with the right items, you can become a force to be reckoned with. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, you need to build a secure base.
He's building a secure base as the first tip. Not even go break a tree. Here's how to break a tree. His first tip is build a secure base, which is awful advice. In RLcraft, you want to explore and find stuff. You're not going to get anything by just building a little wooden hut. You want to find somewhere you want to build a base. And the worst part is, he's building this on top of a mountain. That's not a safe place or even a good place to build a base. Why would you build a base on top of a mountain? Not only are mountains extremely cold, which is terrible early game and late game, this has nowhere. Maybe he's just doing it for demonstration, but also don't build your base here because djinns spawn at high Y values. They're flying monsters. They can kill you. I mean, if you die to one, it's kind of a skill issue. But if you're building a base like this in the first place, you have skill issues. And if you're using glass, okay, this, you never build. What?
Harder to access your base. But
why? Water outside your base is one of the worst. Well, at least it's not lava. But why would you build a moat? Why? It doesn't do anything. It's a waste of time. Most mobs can just climb right over it or jump over. It doesn't even do anything. Why would you recommend this as your first tip?
Remember, there are flying enemies like rocks and around it to make it harder to access your base. But remember, there are flying enemies like rocks.
Flying enemies like rocks. Rocks are one of the least dangerous mobs. They do, no damage. They pick you up. They die in 2 hits to a stone axe. And they don't even spawn in mountains. So, okay. This is just awful already.
And enemies that teleport, they will be able to get past this. But it just...
Why are you building... the ice is already freezing because you're building it in the mountain.
Protection. You also want to acquire...
By the way, you can even see a djinn here.
They will be able to get...
Look, there's a djinn right there. Right here. That's a djinn. These things only spawn at high Y values, and he's at a high Y value building a base.
Past this, but it just adds an extra layer of protection. You also...
That's barely any protection. Why are you doing this? Why are you building a base?
Want to acquire XP.
Final Fantasy. I don't care. I want to get back to the trash video.
14 online.
It'd be a good idea to grind for experience.
This is awful. Why are you Okay, first off, general rule when you're making guides. You want to show what you're doing. What does breaking a tree with a flint hatchet at nighttime have to do with getting XP? This is totally unrelated. And I think he tried crafting a flint hatchet because he has 64 flint. Why does he have 64 flint? I don't know. And why does he have 58 torches and 2... did he... I don't know. Why would you have 64 flint and then / give yourself a flint hatchet?
This is because gathering XP is going to be useful for spending...
Again, why is he showing a tree... wait. He actually is saying that you should make a base.
Yeah,
Like,
which uses
he
up a
has to
lot of
sit
XP
near
in
lava
RLcraft.
because of where he made his base.
Trust me, these experience points can also be spent upon improving your skills. The best way to farm them is of course by playing and putting in more hours, but you'll also get a lot of...
Wait.
The best way to farm them is of course by playing and putting in more hours, but you'll...
By playing and putting in more hours. That's a terrible description. The best way to get them is to play the game. No. Give examples.
You'll also get a lot of XP during killing mobs, so clearing dungeons is also a great way to XP.
Why are you showing yourself killing a geist? Show yourself clearing a dungeon. Don't, like, and he's killing him with a flint pick.
Farm. But you'll also get it from mining ores and farming crops too, so you...
This is already so bad. We're only a minute and 30 seconds in this video, and there's already, like, at least 5 things wrong, and the description was literally written by AI. Like, this is GPG0.me. This is the AI scanning. Welcome to my... Like, this whole thing is AI generated. Can someone please scan, like, write down the whole script here? I'm curious if it is actually written by AI. Like, I'm pretty sure that I would not be surprised if the script was written by AI, and I want somebody to go and, like, I'm not going to do this because this is a trash video. I'm not spending any more time on it. Besides
You'll get
making
it pretty passively. Next up is to train your skills. RLcraft has mods. Originally, I believe to be 2 of them, although I'm not sure if it still has those 2 in the new...
You're not sure if it has 2 skills menu. When you're supposedly an RLcraft expert, you said you have many hours.
But we still mostly did the same thing. They added
I'm a long-time RLcraft player, and you don't even know the 2 skill menus.
Of skills that you can apply points to level up with, using your in-game XP in some situations. This is another reason why you should be farming it to become more powerful. The more you...
Farming is one of the less efficient ways to get XP. It's an okay.
Use a skill in RLcraft 2, the better it gets. So those skills such as attack, magic, and defense are paramount in importance to becoming more powerful.
Wait.
Those skills such as attack, magic, and use a skill in RLcraft 2, the better it gets. So those skills such as attack, the more you use a skill in RLcraft 2, the better it gets.
The more you use a skill, the better it gets. No! You have to put XP into it. There's nothing about, like, the more you use a skill, the better. No! RLcraft doesn't have any of that. We level up skills with XP. We don't level them up by doing things. This is not an RPG where you go and fight like 10 monsters and get combat XP. No, you get XP and then you spend that on combat. You don't get that by fighting mobs. This guy claims to be a long-time player of RLcraft. I'm a long-time player of RLcraft with plenty of tips and tricks to share for you. And you don't even know how to get XP. Okay, again, this thing is probably written by AI. There is no way a real person who has played enough hours of RLcraft to say that they're a long-time player would not even know how to level skills.
Magic and defense are paramount in importance to becoming more powerful.
Magic and defense are paramount. No! Why is defense and magic paramount? Magic is like... I would say that defense, building, and attack... Like... Why is magic paramount?
So try to spend more time training these to increase your damage output and thus your...
They don't increase your damage output. They increase what stuff you can use. Skills unlocks what you can use. The L menu... I think the AI that he used to write this video confused the L menu with the skills menu. The L menu is a different thing. The skills menu does not level your damage. The L menu levels your damage. The skills menu levels what you can use and what you can break and stuff.
Survival
it levels your requirements to do stuff. It also has some perks, but those don't really increase your damage.
And any
or your
points
survival.
That you have to apply for skills useful in combat, do it. Taming a powerful...
Why are you showing safe port as a skill that's useful in combat?
For mount is also important. There are a lot of powerful beasts in RLcraft, especially those from the Lycanite mobs mod. With it...
Again, what are these complementary... Also, this isn't a... Minimap is not an RLcraft mod, but whatever. Also, you have Nature's Compass here, which is, again, not an RLcraft mod. Nature's Compass and a Minimap mod are not from RLcraft, but whatever. Also, that day counter is also not from RLcraft, but also that for... Okay, look. Ignoring the add-ons that he added here that are not from RLcraft, when this is supposed to be a really in-depth RLcraft specific guide, Let's ignore that. They don't matter. But why is he showing a hippogriff when he talks about Lycanite mobs?
In RLcraft, especially those from the Lycanite mod.
Why are you showing a hippogriff? A hippogriff is from the Ice and Fire mod. Anybody who's played RLcraft for any amount of time would know that a hippogriff is an Ice and Fire mod. Lycanite mobs can be soulbound and they're tamed with treats. Like, no, that's not a Lycanite mob. Taming a mount, Lycanite mobs, and he shows a hippogriff. He clearly does not know what a Lycanite mob is.
With this, you can tame flying mounts such as a hippogriff.
Why are you showing yourself dying to it? Like, you're supposed to be showing how to tame it.
Rock or type of
Okay, he finally showed a Lycanite.
Mobs mod. With this, you can tame flying mounts such as a hippogriff, rock, or type of dragon to aid you in combat, as well as providing a method of transport around the world for mobility, which also
He's trying to use
aid you in combat, as well as providing a method of transport.
He used the correct sound. I thought he was trying.
Also comes in handy, especially when fighting dragons in the sky. The world for mobility, which also comes in handy, especially when fighting dragons.
No, they don't. Flying mounts don't come in handy when fighting dragons. If you're fighting dragons, you're either fighting them on the ground or you're shooting them from the ground. You can fight dragons on flying mounts, but they're not that useful. They're like kind of like okay, if you want to use a flying mount to fight a dragon, you can. It's a bit more risky than just shooting it from the ground and waiting until it de-aggroes. And if your flying mount dies, you fall like 300 blocks and might die. No, you don't fight dragons on flying mounts, rarely. Your flying mount will die if you try to melee the dragon. You should have...
Sky. These creatures are summoned from the summoning menu and they require a different item to actually tame them. So make sure to refer to the wiki depending on which mount.
Refer to the wiki. No, check what type of mob it is. When you like interact with a mob, it'll show up in your bestiary as an avian or whatever. Also, if you need like actually useful tips and other stuff, and you have questions, join the RLcraft Discord. Don't Google or YouTube this useless garbage, unless it's my videos, of course, because my videos are good.
You're trying to get. Now, a great mount to try to work up to acquire is the Morok. They're
at least he got that right.
Basically wyvern dragons with large wings that you can find roaming around in the plains biome just like you can.
Okay.
And with the rocks, as well as all.
He doesn't even mention that they only spawn in nighttime and that they're in the same spawn event of rock. Like, that's very basic info that they spawn at night, and you're missing that. Probably because it was written by AI.
So the savannah too. You'll need to use dragon treats to tame Moroks and then mount them by using a dragon saddle. But they're super fast, they have great mobility, which makes them a great choice to get, and also makes them pretty strong.
He doesn't even show the mountain ability. He probably doesn't even know what
super fast.
They're super fast. Like, you use the mountain ability, which is like a really long dash, similar to the Venturoraptor and Uvaraptor. It's a really long dash, which is why they're good. They're not good because, like, they would be garbage if they didn't have that ability. The mountain ability is what makes them good.
They have great mobility.
And you're not even showing the mountain ability when talking about it. You're just being like, oh, yeah, they're really fast, but then you don't show why they're fast. Like, use complementary images, and you're riding a rock here. How hard would it be to press the mountain ability to show how fast it is? That adds credibility to your argument that it is one of the best. I do agree it's the best. And, like, if you Google best flying mount in RLcraft, it will probably come back as a Morok. And the AI probably knows that too.
Which makes them a great choice to get, and also makes them pretty strong when you're fighting dragons. Because it's...
They don't! Again! Why are you fighting dragons on a flying mount? Either... Okay, two things happen. Either you're putting yourself at more risk by bowing the dragon, or if you try to melee it in the air, your mount will die. The dragons will probably kill your mount pretty quick. Yeah, no, you don't use flying mounts to fight dragons. You can if you're strong, like if you just bow it in the air, but at that point, why would you not just stay on the ground? Like, no, it's not important for fighting dragons. No.
It's pretty easy to get knocked off a flying mount if you get hit just once or twice. Dragons, because it's pretty easy to get knocked off by using a dragon saddle. But they're super fast, they have great mobility, which makes them a great choice to get, and also makes them pretty strong when you fight.
It makes them pretty strong when you're fighting dragons.
dragons, because it's pretty easy to get knocked off a flying mount.
Because it's pretty easy to get knocked off. Okay, they're pretty strong for fighting dragons because it's easy to get knocked off them. That is exactly what I was saying.
If you get hit just once or twice, then you should...
Why does that support your... That's contradictory to your argument that they're really good for fighting dragons. You're saying they're really good for fighting dragons because you'll get knocked off if you get hit once or twice, which is why I don't think they're good for fighting dragons. Again, this is probably because it was written by AI. And considering the description is written by AI, as shown here, like, this is literally written by AI. Very few, like, it's even a poor AI, because very few text things written by AI come back as 100% AI. It's usually like 98% sure. No, this is 100% sure, which probably means it was written by AI. Like, this is without a doubt written by AI.
Because it's pretty easy to get knocked off a flying mount if you get hit just once or twice. Then you should also consider getting the balloon. So
why? The balloon is a terrible bauble. It requires 5 spectral silk. Why is that? And it's written as the best bountiful baubles trinkets. No, the balloon is one of the worst. It increases your jump height and negates some fall damage. That's an okay, like, early game bauble at best for a reforge, but you won't have spectral silk to craft it early game. You only get, the best baubles in this game. No. Okay, look. This guy claims to be an experienced RLcraft player. Not even a novice RLcraft player would tell you that the balloon bauble is one of the best in the game. Like, okay, I only watched the first minute. I was like, oh my god, this is bad already. But this is so bad. Like, he claims to be an experienced RLcraft player who has played it for a long time. Nobody who has experience says that the balloon is one of the best baubles in the game.
we're going to be talking about some of the bountiful baubles in the next few sections.
What the You're crafting it? 5 spectral... Okay, spectral silt is way harder to get than diamonds, first off. It's a really valuable resource for reforging your late game baubles. You usually want to stockpile on it or at around mid game and just save it until late game to reforge your end game baubles to the best reforges. You don't waste... Like, you won't even get 5 spectral... Like, why are you crafting a balloon? The only argument I can see for getting a balloon is if you find it in a chest. That's it. You never craft this bauble. I have never crafted it because it is just that bad. It's like... It's very okay at early game, but I would never say it's one of the best, especially considering you can only consider it viable if you find it in a chest really early on. And it gets outclassed by a lot of baubles.
Also would recommend the balloon because this craftable item gives you an increase to your jump height.
Why are you recommending the balloon as one of the best baubles in the game? Because it gives you increased jump height. There's a bauble called the Broken Heart. You know what it does? It saves you from dying. That alone is way more valuable than just extra jump height. Like, the Cross Necklace, that gives you extra tankiness. Like, a backpack, I would even say, is a better bauble. Like, I think backpacks are solid. I think they're solid. They do kind of fall off in, like, the late game-ish, but a backpack is way easier to craft than a balloon bauble. It gives you twice as much inventory space, and you can craft it by day 1 very easily. Like, why is the balloon considered one of the best baubles here?
And it reduces your fall damage taken. You can find this...
I'm already so done with this video. We're 3 minutes and 23 seconds in. It's already so bad.
Sometimes in chests, but if you do want to craft it, you'll need 5 spectral silk, and you'll need to merge those with any color of wool to make the balloon. Then there's also the...
Oh my god. He puts the balloon in the same tier as the Stone of the Sea. Waste... Like, this section is called the Best Bountiful Baubles Trinkets. He puts the balloon in the same tier as the... Okay, I'm not going to swear because I want to keep my monetization... Actually, I don't even have mon... Okay, whatever. Point is, this is really bad. The Stone of the Sea is easily a good bauble. Like, I I'm okay if you say it's one of the best baubles in the game. I think it's good. I wouldn't say it's one of the best. I'd say it's like a solid A+ tier. I wouldn't say it's in an S tier. S tier I consider like the best. But the balloon bauble is one of the best. What are you? Okay, look. I'm going to give some credit to this guy, because clearly it took a lot of effort to type in, give me an RLcraft tutorial video on how to get good in the ChatGPT. I mean, imagine the amount of skill it took to type in that 2 sentences or whatever. Like, boom, that was way harder than writing an entire script for this video, because it was clearly not made by AI at all.
Stone of the Sea. Now, the Stone of the Sea is made from glowing ingots, prismarine crystals, and a Neptunium ingot. This will let you swim super fast underwater, have underwater night vision, aka full bright mode abilities when swimming, have water breathing.
He's not even...
And will instantly purify drinking water in-game. If you're going to be spending any time exploring or...
He couldn't find the baubles here.
Instantly
Look,
purify
he accidentally went into his hat storage. He clicked the wrong one. No experienced RLcraft player would mistake the hats section for the baubles. And then he goes into hat storage because he's confused.
Underwater, this is crucial, and there's a lot of structures with guardians, not just ocean monuments, but others too, which...
There's not that many structures with guardians, and why are you considering ocean monuments as a concern? Nobody goes to ocean monuments in RLcraft. Ocean monuments are one of, like, the least important structures in RLcraft. What do you get? 8 gold blocks? Gold is already very common in RLcraft.
Using this will allow you to actually explore without running low on oxygen. Then...
Okay.
You should also build...
I think I broke my mouse. Wait, how do I get...
The Ankh.
I think I might... Okay, wait, no, it's fine. The Obsidian Shield! That's one of the best baubles!
Shield. Now, the Ankh Shield is also another useful item.
This video is so bad. Please, guys. Follow my gods, not this garbage. This garbage got 15,000 views, and this guy has 123,000 subscribers, and the video is complete garbage. This is one of the least useful. We're 4 minutes in. I cannot.
This one gives immunity to a lot of status effects, like...
That's the wrong item. That's the Ankh Shield. That's not the Obsidian Shield. You say craft the Ankh Shield, but then you say...
Not just ocean monuments, but others too, which using this will allow you to actually explore without running low on oxygen. Then you should also build the Ankh Shield.
Build the... Oh, okay. So we said build the Ankh Shield, not the Obsidian Shield. I can at least cut him some slack there, but...
Now, the Ankh Shield is also another useful item. This one gives immunity to a lot of status effects, like giving partial fire resistance and knockback immunity.
Gives immunity to all status effects like partial fire resistance and knockback resistance. That sounds a lot like the Obsidian Shield. If you did not know, the Obsidian Shield is not even in the recipe for the Ankh Shield. So he's showing the Obsidian Shield as part of the recipe for the Ankh Shield, but it's not in there. It's vitamins, forbidden fruit, the black dragon thing or whatever, sunglasses, and another item I forget the name of, but... Point is, he's showing the Obsidian Shield as part of the Ankh Shield's recipe, which makes no sense. Like, why? Like, clearly this was AI. Like, AI can get confused sometimes when it comes to stuff like this. My guess is what happened is the AI got confused with the Obsidian Shield and the Ankh Shield. And he couldn't figure out that. Because this guy is not an experienced RLcraft player like he claims to be. AI again. This is literally AI. You'll learn how to take down the toughest Lycanite mobs with ease using the best enchantments and potions, and learn how to get a mount and how to take... The grammar is even bad. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned RLcraft player, this advanced guide is packed with RLcraft. Guys, please... If you're subscribed to this man, unsubscribe for this absolute dumpster fire.
Immunity. You combine an Obsidian Shield and an Ankh Chop.
Why is he...
together within an anvil to forge this item together. You can't acquire this item though until you defeat the Ender Dragon.
What? You can acquire it before you defeat the Ender Dragon. Why? Why can't you acquire it before you defeat the Ender Dragon? Am I stupid? All the resources that are needed in there are not specifically from the end. Why do you need to defeat the Ender Dragon?
Wither and also the Elder Guardian, and you have to slay a whole lot of husks, strays, cave spiders, and shulkers to...
You have to slay shulkers, cave spiders, and a whole bunch of other mobs? What? A vitamin's bauble, which is at the bottom here, that is crafted from an elder... It's a drop from an Elder Guardian. The black dragon scale can be found in the overworld pretty commonly in some chests. Forbidden fruit is also a common drop from a whole bunch of different things. Sunglasses are pretty easy to get. You can find them and they're craftable, I'm pretty sure. Although I don't use them that much. I might be forgetting something. Point is, you do not need to go to the end for these. Why?
Anvil to forge this item together, Guardian, and base items for it. Next up, strays, cave spiders, and shulkers.
Strays, husks, cave spiders, and shulkers. You don't need any of those for this.
To actually craft these base items for it. Next up is the Dragon's Eye. So the Dragon's Eye is a powerful item that grants the player special...
Yeah, it's a powerful item.
...abilities like night vision, water breathing, and fire resistance, but it also offers abilities like night vision, water breathing...
The Dragon's Eye does not give water breathing! Wait. This is from pre 2.9. I might be mistaken here.
But it also offers a pseudo X-ray type feature, which allows you to find minerals and chests. Think of it kind of like a spelunker effect, such as the one in Terraria.
Gave a dragon head. The Dragon's Eye requires a tier 5 skull. This man does not know how to craft a Dragon's Eye. And he claims to be an RLcraft expert. And he does not know how to craft a Dragon's Eye. I rest my case. We're 4 minutes, 50 seconds into this painful video. And he doesn't even know how to craft a Dragon's Eye. It requires a tier 5 skull. Instead, he /game modes a dragon head.
Makes it a must-have for any player in RLcraft for so many reasons. But to obtain it, you first...
What? You need a tier 5 skull for this, but he doesn't realize that, and he wonders why the crafting recipe isn't working, so then he just is like, okay, I'm going to use the default dragon head because that's an option. This video is terrible editing. He doesn't show anything related to the topics he's talking about. The information is not accurate at all. The tips are completely useless and complete misinformation. This is one of the worst guides out there.
Just need to either defeat the end...
The dragons... Okay, look. I'm not super familiar with 2.9 RLcraft. I started playing in, 2.9. I played before then, but I wasn't, super into it until, 2.9 or whatever. But even in this guy's footage, it does not give water breathing here. It says grants fire resistance, grants night vision. It says nothing about water breathing. And I'm pretty sure the Dragon's Eye has never gave water breathing. Again, clearly written by an AI.
Dragon and take the skull that it drops, or defeat a normal dragon from the Ice and Fire mod to get its skull from its skeleton.
Have you ever wished you could play a video game your way? Where you can be
My voice might die from
along
this.
with 4 normal dragon from the Ice and Fire mod. The dragon and take the skull that it drops, or defeat a normal dragon.
You defeat the Ender Dragon, or defeat a normal dragon from the Ice and Fire mods. You can only use a tier 5 skull in its crafting recipe. This guy clearly didn't figure that out because he still has the tier... He got a stage 4 skull because he thought that would be fine.
From the Ice and Fire...
He doesn't even specify that you need the tier 5 skull for this recipe. This is garbage.
Mod to get its skull from its skeleton, along with 4 diamond swords, 3 glowing gems, and a ring of enchanted eyes that must also be crafted beforehand. Once you have all of these items, you can craft the Dragon's Eye, which takes you one step closer to becoming more OP. When you toggle the night vision and search for the various blocks and treasure chests using its hotkey, you can then detect them within a radius of 5 blocks.
You don't need to toggle the night vision for that.
Above or below, and 10 blocks horizontally away from you as the wearer. Next is obtaining powerful weapons. So let's talk...
Why is he showing an iron rapier as a powerful weapon?
about weapon options. In RLcraft, having powerful weapons is crucial. You need them to...
He's spam attacking the Joust as an example of an OP weapon. You don't spam attack you never have spam. RLcraft is on 1.12. If you did not know, that has an attack cooldown, and spamming is not a good way to deal DPS.
Take down mobs in just a few hits, or have a fighting chance against some of the stronger foes which you'll typically have to face. Some of the best weapons in game is the rapiers or the
The rapiers were pretty good.
halberds, for example. The former is a fast weapon that does a whole lot of damage to those mobs with no armor, whilst the latter, the halberds, are more powerful weapons with much longer reach that deal heavy damage output to armored mobs. Both of these weapon types are crafted using advanced materials like diamonds and are enchanted.
No. They're Spartan weapons. All you need is a handle or a pole and some of the materials they're made out of. None of these weapons require diamonds or glowing ingots or whatever he's saying. You can make them out of wood. Like, I'm not even screaming anymore. Like, I'm not gonna be freaking out anymore because, like, God, this video sucks. Like, please don't ever watch it. Please don't ever do anything with it. It is if anything, go over and dislike it. Like, we do not want this content promoted in RLcraft. This is the type of misinformation, that makes people not want to play RLcraft because they wonder why can't they progress because of shit like this. This is garbage.
With powerful enchants such as sharpness and looting. Some of
Powerful enchants such as sharpness and looting. I wonder about supreme sharpness. I wonder about combo. I wonder about advanced looting. I wonder about strength and wait, no, that's armor. I'm being stupid. Anyway, in Venom 3, Viper 5, Curse of Possession, Fire Supreme. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of good enchants in this game, and sharpness and looting are not as good as the Supreme and Advanced versions,
which I'll cover next. The Saber and Rapier are great early game choices due to them offering a 25%.
He's even terrible at base Minecraft. Look.
The Saber and Rapier are great early...
Look, he runs this close to a mob, despite he previously said the halberd has immense reach, which it does. It has like 5-block reach or something, and he's going within 2 blocks of the joust with a pretty rangy weapon.
Early game choices.
And he's running back into the mob with this super high range weapon. This guy's awful. He doesn't even have the correct heart display active.
Them offering a 25% damage reduction and extra damage to unarmored mobs. There's also a two-handed requirement though for both the...
He's spam attacking even passive mobs, so we can't even write it up to panic. This guy doesn't even know about attack cooldown, which was added in 1.9. RLcraft is 1.12.
Beards and also the great swords, although they're far better mid.
This hurts to watch. He's spam attacking like it's 1.8 PvP and he's about to win the world championship if he spam attacks. No, this is RLcraft, where you have attack cooldowns and you don't spam attack stuff with a great sword.
Mid-game, with a halberd being a strong contender for single target damage and great swords being better for going in and clearing out dungeons. Now, for doing damage at long distances, the Dragon Bone strengthened longbow is also perhaps the best ranged weapon in RL.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, there's Sentient Greatbow, but I'm not 100% sure if that was added before or after 2.9, so I'll let it slide.
Craft, or at least the best I know of. This is due to its longer range and its faster projectile speed. And after I crafted a diamond longbow, I made sure I definitely upgraded to this one once I slayed a few dragons. You then want to focus on acquiring powerful armor sets. Now there's a wide range of armor sets in...
When exactly is this? Because he hasn't set a game stage. He says you now want to focus on getting these, but he doesn't say when. He just says you now want to focus on these. Does that mean you want to focus them on day one? Does that mean you want to focus on them when you're like completely endgame? Like when do you want to focus on these?
In RLcraft, many of which...
By the way, the answer is like mid or late game.
own respective advantages and disadvantage and power levels. Tide Guardian armor is a good set, mainly because it offers you water breathing.
Also, another example of why this guy is not a experienced RLcraft player is because if he was, and he's clearly a big YouTuber, he does a lot of content. Like, he has 123,000 subs. Clearly, he does a lot of content. Many of that probably is garbage considering this video quality, but he would have probably, if he's a longtime RLcraft player, he would have clips lying around of him having the Tide Guardian armor set. And especially if he's a YouTuber. Like, YouTubers record everything in their gameplay, especially if they're considering making guides. Like,
water when wearing it.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do
wow,
the
Mint
opposite
Mobile, who
of
cares?
what
Let's
Big
go back
Wireless
to the
does.
garbage. Honestly, I
charge
prefer
you a
the...
lot,
You know what?
we charge you a
I
little.
prefer this
Your
ad
name's
for a product I
Linus,
don't
we
need to
put
this garbage
ours
video.
on my lower back. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices
Oh,
due to
that's
inflation,
very
we
interesting.
decided to deflate our
Huh,
prices.
maybe
and
I
do not
should
hate
get
it.
Mint Mobile. At least that's better than whatever the hell this
To acquire
garbage
this
is.
set, you need to kill a sea serpent manually or by first taming it, and you'll need to... To acquire this set, you need to kill a sea serpent manually or by first taming it.
First taming it? You don't tame sea serpents! You have never tamed sea serpents! Sea serpents have never been tameable! This is AI! Like, this is without a doubt AI. Even if, like, sea serpents have never been tameable. No sentient human would write a script this bad when they claim to be an experienced RLcraft player. Which, by the way, that claim was written by AI. I said I was not going to get emotional, or screamy, I guess, or loud, or whatever you want to say, mad. But this video is so garbage. Like, go over there and flood it. Actually, don't flood it with dislikes, because that gives him views, and that promotes his video. Just, I want this video to never see the light of day again. I don't hate many videos, because I'm mostly of, like, if it's for education value, sure, I don't care if you cheat it. Like, Calvin's early 100 days, he cheated several times, but nobody cares because it's an entertainment video. And by the way, he hasn't cheated again recently. I would have done a video if it was recent cheating, but no, he... Anyway, point is, it's fine to, like, be bad at something if it's for entertainment value, or do misinformation if it's entertainment, like saying that, only jokes I can think of here are offensive. I have very low regard for informational content that is highly misinformative and does not actually help people. I put high value on the quality of the tips and stuff being said here. I don't put quality on the random editing or whatever. I want the facts. I don't want a whole bunch of misinformation. And when I see videos like these are some of the worst videos on the internet because they claim to be really informative and useful, and then they never actually teach you anything, and they spread misinformation because it's a really low-effort cash grab.
And you'll need to get 20 sea serpent scales from these serpents to craft the armor set with 8 shiny scales. Then there's also dragon scale, which is the one I'd recommend as your endgame choice.
Really? Dragon armor as your endgame armor choice? This video was probably made before 2.9, which I'm not super familiar with pre 2.9 again, but I'm pretty sure even back then silver armor was considered the best. Also, the thumbnail, by the way, for this video, let me actually, I'll do that at the end of the video, but the thumbnail for this video shows dragon forging. RLcraft has never had dragon forging. In fact, dragon forging's only being added in the next update, which is a year and a half after this video came out, because it won't likely come out before half a year. It'll probably be like sometime like late next year.
It offers great defense against fire and projectile damage, and it
doesn't offer great defense against anything specifically. It just offers great defense. Like, it's not like, oh, plus 50% resistance against arrows. Like, no.
The perfect choice for dragon slaying. You need to defeat stage 4 and 5 dragons in the mod pack to get the dragon scale.
No, you don't. Any dragons will drop dragon scales. Literally any dragon. Except the dead ones, like the bones you find in deserts and stuff.
gear, and it comes in different colours, being based off the dragons you actually slay and acquire the scales from. You slay a dragon, strip the scales from the body by right-clicking on them to gather these scales, which you can then craft in the same shape way as vanilla armors. This is one of the most durable and powerful sets in game, being
Yeah, sure, I'll let that slide.
pretty useful against physical attacks too. Next we're going to...
There is no type damage in this game. Armor, well, at least no type resistance with armor. Except for a very few exceptions, like troll armor that has resistance against arrows, but very few armors in this game. And dragon armor is not one of those armors that has specific resistance against... there's not even specific damage types, it's just damage.
cover crafting enchanted gear. Enchanted gear is an essential must-have in RL.
He's enchanting it with protection 4, not advanced protection, again showing that he does not play the mod pack.
Craft. It provides the player with an additional layer of protection and a set of abilities. To make the more advanced enchanted gear in the mod, you'll need to have an enchantment table and an anvil to do so. Try to...
You don't need an enchantment table. Villagers exist.
Acquire the very best types of enchants for each piece of gear. This would be examples like protection 4 for your armor and sharpness 5 for your...
No. There's... Okay, look, if you're like completely brand new to RLcraft, I can understand thinking that sharpness 5 is the best melee weapon enchant or whatever, but we have supreme sharpness, which is like sharpness 20 or something, like it's the equivalent of sharpness 20. Like we also have advanced protection, which is like way stronger than, well, pretty much stronger, like 20% more protection.
Swords. For general armor enchantments,
Yes, he shows advanced protection. Okay.
Advanced Protection 4, Advanced or Burning Thorns 3, or Unbreaking 3 are the best.
This is complete garbage. Nope. Nobody uses it. Nobody uses Burning Thorns. Burning Thorns is one of the worst enchants in the game because all it does is set enemies on fire and in turn setting you on fire if they hit you. Like, it's not good. It also hurts your... Actually, I don't think it hurts your armor ability, but it's still bad. Don't get Burning Thorns. I would never... Also, where's the strength and vitality? You don't mention strength and vitality when you're talking about the best enchants.
Advanced or Burning Thorns 3, or...
He also says Advanced Thorns is one of the best enchants in the game. I can see that for maybe just the overworld, but the armor durability cost is so extreme. I personally think it's garbage unless you have Unbreaking and Mending, and even then it's still risky.
Breaking 3 are the best. Combine these enchanted items together with a mending enchantment like Advanced Mending.
Advanced Mending is terrible on armor compared to Mending. Well, it's not terrible, but... Basic explanation. Advanced Mending... It applies randomly between the pieces of which one gets healed. It does heal at a good rate, but the problem is, if a mob does a ton of damage to, like, your boots and your head, for example, Advanced Mending will randomly select which one will get each XP bonus, which can lead to inconsistent armor durabilities where your head's on, like, one durability and your boots are fully healed. Whereas Mending prioritizes the lowest durability at all times. That's the basic difference, which is why you want Advanced Mending on your weapons instead.
And you'll have
It's okay to have Advanced Mending on your head and chest, since you both of those you want at max durability, but you shouldn't have it on all.
That can more easily take on the toughest of enemies in the pack. For helmets, I'd go with Respiration 3 or Aqua Infinity. Chest armor prospers with Strengthened Vitality 5.
Okay, finally he mentioned Strength and Vitality 5.
And Inner Berserk 4, and the
Inner Berserk is optional, sure.
legs, I'd recommend Agility 2. For the feet, you can use Advanced Feather Falling 4, Depth Strider, Lightweight 3, High Jump 2, and also Magma Walker 2. Strength and Vitality is perhaps the most powerful of enchants, as it increases your maximum health.
At least he says.
Inner Berserk will increase your damage more as your health drops. So both of these are very powerful in...
Inner Berserk is not a very powerful enchant, because by the time you have Inner Berserk 4, which is around mid to late game, even if you... And nobody goes out of the way for it. If you have that... Let's say you got lucky. You got Inner Berserk 4 Villager for 1 emerald. You put that on your armor. When does it help? It just gives you extra damage when your health is below 30%.
If your health is below 30%, you are not fighting stuff. You are recall potioning out of there. You are not fighting that. You are running. You are peeling yourself. You are not fighting when you're at below 30% HP, which is when Inner Berserk happens. Inner Berserk is only a extra if you want it kind of enchant. I would not put it as one of the best.
Conjunction with each other. Lightweight reduces your fall damage and it increases...
Where's the mending? He talks about like the best enchants on everything, but he doesn't even show mending on the enchants or unbreaking. He also says that advanced protection is like exists, but then he doesn't say that that's part of the max setup. Also, I'm pretty sure Magma Walker is not considered a max enchant. Actually, never mind. I'll show.
Which you need to fall before any fall damage is even applied, and high jump makes you jump much higher. With Magma Walker,
high jump is actually kind of a disadvantage at sometimes. It's kind of like an optional thing. Like if you want to, you can have it.
Letting you walk upon lava without taking any kind of damage, which is...
It's not walking on lava without taking any damage. What it does is it turns lava to obsidian.
Is very useful, believe me. Lastly, we're going to cover using potions. So,
this is going to be good.
Potions are an additional great way to gain an upper hand.
Look at the amount of death waymarks. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is with... Actually, we can tell by his minimap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 deaths shows a lot here. Also, what is it? Waymarks, whatever they're called, like where it automatically marks your death location in like a thing or whatever. That's not part of RLcraft, and it has never been. The minimap mod is not part of RLcraft. The waymarks, whatever these are called, not part of RLcraft. So yeah, that's a little weird.
And in RLcraft to have a greater advantage. Some of the most useful potions that you have.
This is not an advanced guide. This is a guide written by AI who doesn't even understand the game. Again, why is Balloon Bauble considered one of the best? He doesn't even mention that many baubles. He says Ankh Charm, Dragon's Eye, Stone of the Sea, and what was the other one? Right, Balloon. He mentioned 4 baubles. We have 8 bauble slots. At the very least you can do when making a best baubles is show one for each bauble section, whatever.
Have at your fingertips include the potion of regeneration, healing the player over time, the potion of strength, which increases your attack power, as well as the potion of swiftness that makes you have heightened movement speed. These
are not the best potions. We have potions of flight, which any good RLcraft player, even new ones, will know that potion of flight is broken because it literally gives you creative mode flight. How the hell is strength 2 considered one of the best potions? We have flight potions in this game.
potions are of course all brewed in a normal brewing stand with their fitting ingredients like blaze powder or gas tears for an example. And that's a wrap on this RLcraft video on how to be OP. By following these tips and using the...
You can't even kill a deer.
Advanced items which I covered, you'll be well in your...
He also doesn't even show Spartan weaponries. He doesn't even tell you what the best weapons are. He says rapier, halberd, and what was the other one? Greatsword. Greatsword has also never been considered like a top tier one. It's been considered good. I don't think it's ever been considered a top tier one or a meta like weapon. Nunchucks are like the meta weapon late game, and you're not even gonna mention those or the enchants for them. This guide is awful. Like, please don't ever watch. Like, don't ever listen to this guy's opinion on anything ever, because he used ChatGPT to make this RLcraft guide, and he claims to be an expert. Again, written by AI. Absolute garbage. I usually reserve judgment, considering, but this was made a year ago, okay? So, who knows? Maybe he improved recently. Maybe he's not so bad anymore, where he uses ChatGPT to make low-effort, bad videos on games he does not understand.
Your way to becoming a true powerhouse in RLcraft.
Look at high jump here. You see, this is why high jump is considered like an optional enchant. Like, it can be really annoying sometimes. Also, he doesn't even have masterful or step-up reforges.
It's all about maximizing your defenses, attack power, and exploration skills to
RLcraft is all about maximizing your defenses, attack, and exploration skills. Sure.
acquire the best gear and resources. So go forth, continue to explore and experiment, and become the strongest player in RLcraft. This guide had
Just watching him kill these deer is the most fun I've had in this entire thing. Not only is he spam clicking here, he also, which again, bad idea to do in 1.9, but he can't even hit the deer. Like, this is pathetic.
items. I've tried to only feature the most important and powerful ones, although this doesn't provide a full setup, as there is some more baubles which I recommend. This guide has missed out a few items. I've tried
A few items! Your bauble section alone had just a measly 4 baubles that you considered good, and Balloon was one of them.
to only feature the most important and powerful ones, although
I only featured the most important and powerful ones, and I featured the balloon bauble because that's a really important and powerful item, because a little bit of extra jump height and fall resistance is what we need in RLcraft. Not only that, but we have better options.
this doesn't provide a full setup, as there is some more baubles which I recommend you to try and research to get. Drop in the comments section down.
There is no way that the script wasn't made by AI. Like, the fact that the video description here comes back as 100% probability AI generated, yuck.
Down below any questions or tips which I didn't feature, like extra gear which players should acquire, and also anything better than perhaps the set.
Do this for my videos. Don't do it for his, please. Anything. Just pretend that I'm the one saying this here. Don't subscribe to this guy. Dislike this video if you ever end up watching it for yourself to laugh at it.
Which I showed. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Nope, we're not. Never. Please don't like this video. If his new content is like exceptional, you know what? We're gonna have a look at that now. Let's see. What is his new content
In
like?
this video,
Weird Terraria mods you've never heard of. Just survive. Conor McGregor dies in the rain. Who remembers Habbo Hotel? This is a random stuff that I don't know. I mean, I have no opinions on these anymore. How to summon Herobrine in 2024? This channel is garbage just for having a how to summon Herobrine tutorial in 2024. What else is there? 10 mysterious creatures science couldn't explain. That thumbnail looks AI generated. This looks AI generated. It's a 5-minute video on that big of a topic. This is 100% an AI channel. Like, there's no way there's a real person behind this. Maybe behind a couple of these. But these just don't. These are garbage. Fast diamond mining is 169 an hour. Cool. How to install Prism Launcher? I asked an AI. Okay, of course. Ask an AI to create your Minecraft mod. You ask it to create your videos too, huh? Yeah. My judgment is terrible on this channel. Also, it seems like he might be a sub-botter. Because if we look at the total view counts, 61 million views over... How does he have 61 million views? These videos are getting nothing. 25 views in 52 minutes. Let's also see some other. What I use to make videos, blah, blah, blah. Also add AI there. Business email. I'm Dean, the Blue Crusader. I make videos on the coolest mod for video games, as well as mini documentaries on fascinating subjects. Sure, like, garbage, please don't ever, like, just off that RLcraft video should be enough to know that he's a fraud and garbage, and, like, I usually don't bash creators too hard on, like, content in general, because people still make content. Like, if you want to... Making content in the first place is an option. You don't have to. Like, it's cool if you want to. So, I usually don't judge it too much. But when your content is purposefully misinformational and you use ChatGPT to make your content and claim you're an expert on a subject which you know nothing about, I will critique you very hard for that. Well, that's the end of reviewing this awful video.
In this video,
that, like,
hey guys, Dean
should never... Oh, God. Nasty. Nasty. Yuck. Get it out of here. Okay, end video.